Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. Now let's get this ceremony underway. Arsena lowers her head graciously. Knight Commander, how can I help? I wait for the beginning of the ceremony. I don't mind spending the time before the ritual with you. Are you sure? I'm a born companion, and there are plenty of entertaining activities around. I've already seen enough of the entertainments. Your company is most welcome, Knight Commander. So calling it, I think the ring is cursed or trapped in some way. May I have your attention, everyone. Before we get to the important part of the ceremony, I want you to welcome two very dear guests. This is the commander of the 5th Crusade, thanks to whose efforts, the Sword of Valor now flies proudly over Dresden once more. Oh my god, skip. And Sela, Paladin of Iomedae, the commander's companion, and someone I have the honor of calling a friend. Sela, would you say a few words?
Hello, everyone. Hey, I need some advice. What should I say? Giving speeches really isn't my thing.
Sela glances at you and adds in a whisper. Just speak from the heart.
Right. I always complicate things, but I just need to say what I feel. Friends, I'm not good at making beautiful speeches, so here's an ugly speech, but it comes from the heart. I am so happy for you. May everything be good for you. May all your troubles pass you by. May neither demons nor misfortunes ever separate you. That's what we're fighting for, isn't it? For weddings, fun, and laughter. Even in the cursed lands of the World Wound. Even after 100 years of war.
Sela turns to you and adds quietly. Like I can just be a wet blanket about this. Yes, you're exactly right.
You know, I wanted you to come here with me so I could show you that our efforts aren't in vain. Not long ago, demons ruled over all of this area we're in. And they did all sorts of abominable things here. But now, Dresden stands as an indestructible fortress, and weddings are taking place here. It's all because of you. So, let's watch the ceremony and enjoy ourselves.
Sela smiles. Arsena casts a solemn look over the gathered crowd. Her eyes are glistening, either from emotions or the vampire wine. Welcome, honored guests, to the wedding of Elin and Kiana. Today, I am delighted to play my part in the beginning of something so special, the beginning of a new happy family. When something as strong as your love for one other is born from the chaos of life, all the gods of order triumph. Sela is listening to the priestess with a broad smile on her face. Before we begin the most important part of the ceremony, I ask all the guests to put something in this cup that they think will serve the newlyweds well in their new chapter. Heard about this custom. It's called the Cup of Wishes. People put nice little things symbolizing wishes. For example, a coin for wealth, a toy for the birth of a child, and so on. I'll put in a coin. Well, this is unique, so throw in the marzipan bone. For a sweet life. And the guests put their gifts into the cup one by one. A luxurious shimmering tiara, a flashy ring. Kiana's friend even takes the bejeweled collar from around her dog's neck and puts it into the cup. I also like how my Triceratops and Bucephalus have spots at the ceremony. Friends. But these gifts are too expensive. The keeper of the Macabre Menagerie smiles to Kiana, showing her fake fangs. Don't even think about refusing. They come with the best of wishes. Hey, look more closely at the cup of gifts. Each piece of jewelry was innocuous enough on its own. Now that they have all been gathered together, your suspicions have been raised. The magical auras are too strong and varied to belong to mundane trinkets possessing only enough magic to adjust their size to the wearer. Sela, the jewelry. There's something wrong with it. I had this feeling that something was wrong. It's a jewelry, right? They're all made by Master Sunhammer, weren't they? He also made the ring that... The gifts have been given. Let us praise the gods. In the name of Abadar, I pronounce you husband and wife. You may exchange rings and join your lips in a kiss. Elin, Kiana, stop. It's dangerous. I think she acted first. You ruined everything, mortal. I was thinking about buffing up before this.
No time for debates.
So, since we didn't, oh. It's not up. We have this at least, so let's throw this out. And... I didn't rest. Alright, so we're in a bit of a pickle here anyway. I have my animal companions run interference real fast. Buy my companions time to do other stuff. Oh, Bucephalus has been turned against his will.
Let's try this way. This way.
Alright, so Nenio's getting a little bit of a smackdown over here. That's no good. Roochelai. Do that, please. At least the Houndheart's Knights are helping. Did he... Yeah, okay. Sela, where you at? Not doing anything.
No glory without risk.
Alright, you guys go after the Omox.
Into the fray.
An expected outcome.
Alright, what all do we have left? It looks like just the Omox and the Shear, for sure.
Fall!
Ugh.
Did you see that?
I don't think I've ever got a good look at one of these guys. That is disgusting. He's got 2 mouths, it looks like 3 eyes, and a whole bunch of arms on the top of his head. Like a crown of arms.
You've crossed the wrong mark.
Arsinoe leans over Curl's body, whispering the words of some prayer or spell. Then she looks up. Her eyes are full of terror. Commander, I must inform you, we fallen victim to a demonic plot. But I don't understand. How? Why? I think that's pretty obvious. Priestess, you need to focus. Do you know what happened here or not? Yes. Yes, I think so. You all know what possession is, right? Or is, yes? Where a demon can take over the body of a mortal. Well, there is a more cunning version of this process. When the demon possesses the body, the poor victim's soul is transferred into a special vessel. A vessel for souls. The item most commonly used for this purpose is a gemstone. How did the demons get here? The Sword of Valor was supposed to keep them away. They didn't get here. They've been here all along, inside the jewelry. And now I realize, these vessels are enchanted to ensure no one sees them for what they truly are. That is why we didn't notice the demon's presence until the very last moment. No one did. Sela swears. So all this happened because of some sparkly rocks. But wait, that means... Yes, it's all because of the sparkly rocks. I think the more expensive pieces house more powerful demons. Their maker likely had to use more costly materials for the enchantments on those pieces. Mask the demon's presence. He didn't want his atrocities to leave him out of pocket. Let me get this straight. We paid this scumbag a small fortune, just so he could go and set a disgusting demon on us. What a crock. All the jewelry is made by the same person. Derek Sunhammer, right? That I do not know. Well, I do. I can smell it. All this crap came right from the same sewer. Did you say possession? So Curl was possessed by a demon that day back at the Houndheart's camp. This young boy's body is alive, but his soul is gone. Arsinoe moves her hand from pointing at Curl to gesture at the other people lying motionless around her. As are the souls of the other guests, even the poor dogs. Their bodies have been possessed by demons for some time already, and their souls have been transferred into the jewelry. The demon behind this plot stole the cup, taking all the souls with him. Until the jewelry is found and destroyed, we have no hope of saving these poor people. Elin and Kiana are clutching each other's hands. The young woman speaks first. We can't leave it like this. Our friends need our help. I wish I knew if this tragedy could have been prevented. Yeah, number 2. We need to focus on solving the problem. What can we do, Commander? If demons have kidnapped the souls trapped in the jewelry, we must stop them. I know what we have to do. We need to get back to Dresden now. The first ring that possessed Curl, and the second ring I was stupid enough to give you, they both come from the same place, the shops owned by Derek Sunhammer. We have to get back to Dresden to pay a visit to the Master Jeweler. Elin, are you with us? No. We'll stay here and make sure the bodies whose souls were stolen are returned safely to Dresden. We can't leave them unprotected. If we find the lost souls, we'll be able to bring all the demon's victims back to life. Turns to Kiana. This will be a strange and sorrowful start to our married life, but we must. I married a crusader, not a city baker. We're never going to have a peaceful life. We'll get through this together. Alright. I don't expect all the jewelry to be cursed. Yeah, I did find it a little odd that once I pointed out the Derek Sunhammer change from what his golem said. The game forces you to go talk to Elin. You can't go and talk to the golem again. See if something's up. I would have if I had the opportunity. Everyone just collapsed, and then the demons appeared. Wake up. Please wake up. Teela is standing with her weapon drawn, her eyes ablaze. Have you seen the bodies in the streets? I'd bet anything this is a doing of our jeweler. Let's go to his shop quickly, if you're ready. Yes, let's go quickly. I didn't have a choice. I couldn't tell her no. I would like to rest and get my spells back. Darn it. Darn demons. Commander, Sela. Praise Abadar you're alive. The usually dignified Arsinoe struggles to catch her breath after running, and she says, nervously, clenching her hands. I've received news from the other temples of Abadar. Most disturbing news. What we saw at Elin and Kiana's wedding has been happening across Mendev. People who bought Derek Sunhammer's jewelry have been dropping to the ground lifeless, with demons emerging from their bodies. The damage done is hard to measure. Demons appeared in 100 locations, and many of them immediately used the turmoil to commit atrocities. Killing, stealing, wreaking wanton destruction. Some were quickly dealt with, the cursed jewelry taken from them, and the imprisoned souls freed. But most of the demons fled, taking the jewelry containing the souls of their poor victims with them. Derek Sunhammer himself escaped too. The Inquisition of the Church of Iomedae is searching for him. They have no leads as yet. The Church of Abadar is doing whatever it can. We also suffered losses among both our congregation and our clergy. Arsinoe shakes her head sadly. Such a devious plot, and how skillfully it was executed. As Arsinoe speaks, Sela's face grows more and more grim, and her hands clench anxiously around her weapon. I saw that scumbag right here. I even talked to him. I didn't suspect a thing. Often get a sickening feeling from traitors. Some of them are nasty pieces of work, the way they rip people off. I got that same feeling from him, but I didn't even think of looking closer. What happened to the victims of this attack? Several large churches in Mendev have taken the victims into their care. The priests will keep their bodies alive and well, but unless the jewelry is found and their souls returned, all these efforts will be for naught. What did Sunhammer want to achieve by doing this? It's not clear, but he's been the most famous jeweler in Mendev for several years now. He counted many influential personages, or their relatives among his clients. Nobility, generals, priests, merchants. They, their children, or their loved ones are now only lifeless bodies, their souls stolen away, hidden who knows where. The possibilities for blackmail and sowing blind panic are limitless. I suppose the Inquisition and the Mendevian authorities will try to keep the situation under control, but it is still extremely dangerous. How did no one notice anything? Magic Knight, Commander, and highly sophisticated magic at that. The jewelry items were well protected, and no one detected the demons hiding in them. If we assume that Derek Sunhammer not only made the jewelry, but also charmed the items, we must conclude that he is an incredibly powerful and skilled spellcaster. So all his jewelry came with a hidden surprise. Not all of it. The Inquisition combed through everything. Most of what was sold in Sunhammer's shops was perfectly ordinary. The demon jewelry was sold to a select few, and always by Sunhammer directly, not through his golems. It is clear that he targeted his victims deliberately. I see. That is all I can tell you. I hope I've been helpful. If it's within your power, help track down Sunhammer and the Stolen Souls, Commander. This chaos must be stopped. Arsino bows to you and leaves. Tila sheathes her weapon angrily and sucks in a breath through her teeth. But then she seems to steady herself and looks at you, her eyes bright. Well, what do you know? Looks like we got ourselves tangled up in some demonic conspiracy. I'm so glad you came to the wedding with me, and that we managed to find out what happened. Because otherwise, Tila the Dimwit... excuse me. Tila the Dimwit would have come alone. Giving the bride a ring with a surprise demon inside, who would have failed miserably when she tried to help. But you were the one to notice something odd was happening, and you saved Kiana. At least I saved her, right? Good to know I'm not entirely useless. Ah. Grim determination burns in Sila's eyes. I can't leave it like this. If anyone has an obligation to find that low-life Sunhammer and return all the stolen souls, it's me. I'll do everything in my power to find him. Something tells me that the demon-collaborating scumbag is somewhere here in the World Wound. I'll seek help from every quarter. I'll interrogate and imprison demons and cultists. Whatever it takes to get to the truth. Alright, so that's the end of that quest for now, it looks like. Which, that seems like a pretty big deal. We have citizens in Dresden as well, like, under my care. As well as across Mendev. Are being affected by it, so I think that... that should be a little bit more than a companion quest.
I am prepared.
By the way, we're going to go rest, then we're going to head south to the Extirpators camp for Social's quest. Claim. A Knight Commander. Young Knight Claim drops to one knee before you. He has noticeably matured since your previous meeting in the Blackwing Library, where you saved him from being burned alive. But his sharp gaze, aristocratic features, and soft voice are just as you remember. By order of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey, the Order of the Flaming Lance has come to be of service to you. What does your order do? Order devotes itself to mystical research and the pursuit of secret knowledge. We spend just as much time on spells as we do on prayers and weapon drills. At the end of the day, our enemy is not of this world, which means that to fight it, we need knowledge that is not of this world either. So you're now head of the Order. Claim nods sadly. Alas, yes. Our former leader, Sister Myamir, disappeared from Canabras not long before the demon's attack. She's considered missing, but almost everyone believes that she has perished. He'll hand out a leaflet to you, a portrait of a stern-looking half-elf woman printed on grey paper. This is Sister Myamir. If by chance you should find her alive, or... The knight's voice falters. If you learn anything about her fate, our order, and I personally would be eternally grateful to you. Oh! Okay. I was wondering what we were going to do for that quest. It's not immediately apparent, but you recognize the face in the picture. It is the mad woman that you saw by the petrified tree near Wintersun. Do you mean Myrmir? Or Myamir? I saw her near Wintersun, on a cliff next to a petrified tree. A petrified tree. But of course. In Canabra she was reading a history of the petrified library. I feared that she had gone to the Stone Wilds. But if one of those trees is here, O Inheritor, that means she's in grave danger. Commander, do you know the history of these trees? They were enchanted by druids from Old Sarkoris to guard knowledge hidden within them. The druids resorted to using an unholy rite to turn the trees to stone, and themselves into Seabraes? Undead whose hatred for all living creatures almost equals their hatred for demons. I can't waste any time. I'm going to help Sister Myamir. Will you accompany me? Seabraes are extremely dangerous, but if she's still alive, we may have a chance to save her. Well, let's deal with the crusade first. Then we'll go help them out. Alright, a visitor from the past. A small crevice opened in the middle of Dresden, and a tiny, sickly old man climbed out. Coughing heavily, he introduced himself as a spirit of the Sarkorian land, and thanked the Crusaders for their struggle. He wishes to help the Crusade, and is offering the commander a choice. He can either open up the metal deposits that sleep beneath the earth, not far from the fortress, or grow lush forest on top of them, where wild game will make its home. Well, ideally I choose the forests. Like, why is this considered evil? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the forest, I think. Choose the forests. But hearing the commander's choice, the tiny old man smiled and melted into the earth. Soon after, scouts reported that several groves appeared just outside Dresden. The resulting fresh air gives the soldiers strength. Alright, enchanting Chilwar's hide and tusks. The clerics can sense the traces of Chilwar's former might in its remains. They could awaken one of the aspects of its power by offering a prayer over the relic. His icy blood, or his voice. I mean, I'm going to sell it no matter what, so let's do voice, I guess. I've already read that. So while you're wielding this +2 spiked light shield, you get 20 resistance to sonic damage and a +2 bonus on saving throws against sound-based effects. If someone attacks with sonic damage, the wielder has to make a reflex saving throw for sonic damage to echo from the shield, dealing all enemies in a 10-foot area 3 to 6 sonic damage. That's pretty cool. That last effect there. Then Cold Bite. If you're wielding this +2 spiked light shield, you deal +1 bonus damage per dice rolled for spells with Cold Descriptor. Whenever you use Shield Bash... Excuse me, I had to cough. Whenever you use Shield Bash, the enemy has to pass a Fortitude saving throw, or become vulnerable to cold damage, taking 50% more damage than normal until the end of battle. The terrible growl of Chilwar could knock down a galloping horseman and blow away a hut. Priests awaken the tumultuous spirit of the ancient Go-Ro by giving magical properties to its remains. And Fear on the Surface. A group of mongrels has arrived in Dresden. The hunters may have been brave in their underground caves, but they have lost their nerve on the surface. They are scared of sunlight, disoriented by open spaces, and feel perturbed by unfamiliar opponents. Lan asks the commander to be understanding regarding his comrades' anxiety, not to throw them straight into the thick of things. Yeah, train them to fight on the surface. Oh wait, no. Let's do this instead. Position them in the rear of the army where it is safer. The commander's decision raised the mongrel spirits. Once they learned that they would not have to charge into battle in the front ranks, the underground crusaders began to accustom themselves to their unfamiliar surroundings. Alright, let's strengthen diplomatic connections again. I've already read this. A hunt for the kidnappers. Skill trackers and interrogators will hunt down and destroy the band of demons that has been kidnapping children. I really don't want to recruit more of those, but we have nothing else to do, so sure. I need to do this. Gosh darn it. I'll eventually remember to do it. I have to start buying resources.
Follow my lead.
But I'm not going to yet.
My father was always so kind to you, Lan. What would he say to hear you speak to me like that?
What would he say if he knew you'd betrayed your own tribe? I think he'd find that more upsetting.
I think Lan's got a point. She doesn't really have a leg to stand on. Commander, the capital needs you to take a decisive action. There's been a major scandal. The nation of Andoran, our diplomatic partner, has sent its army to help the crusade. However, this apparently generous gesture is nothing more than political provocation. The Andorans noticed that the emerging rapprochement between Mendev and Cheliax have been jeopardized. They wish to widen the divide between Neurosian and Agorian, so they have deliberately sent their army to our territory without our approval. If Mendev accepts this help, it will cool our relations with Eisger and their suzerain Cheliax. The Royal Council Conman, that is to say expects you to reject Andoran aid. Direct them toward Her Majesty's court. They're welcome to negotiate with the capital. Unfortunately, we can't disregard the decision made by Her Majesty and her council. Socio pauses, then suddenly gives you a sly smile. But those Andorans didn't come here empty-handed. They brought weapons and supplies. Let them share those with us, since Mercian forbids them from joining our army. Yen regards Lady Konomi with feigned disapproval. Come now, Lady Konomi. All this suspicion. I'm sure that the Andorans are driven by nothing more than benevolence and concern for our collective future. We simply must accept them like dear friends. We should send the Andorans back home, instead of Neurosian, and declare as loudly as possible that we disapprove of their underhanded methods. Otherwise, our capital's diplomats will see it as an opportunity to strike a few deals and sweep the whole scandal under the rug. And that's not right. Vile deeds should be exposed, not hidden. If the whole deal is about them being Andorans, we should just stop being them. Take down the banners, call themselves mercenaries. Problem solved. What's the gist of this political conflict? Eisger is a protectorate of Cheliax, and Andoran and Cheliax have a long history of feuds. For the Andorans, the highest values are freedom and equality. And for the Cheliaxians, it's order and hierarchy. It's as if the two countries were made to be at odds. The fact that they are both allied with Mendev doesn't stop them from settling scores at any opportunity. For the time being, Neurosian considers it more advantageous to cooperate with Agorian, the capital of Cheliax. No one is cutting ties with Andoran, no. It's just that the relations have cooled somewhat. It's a common occurrence in the politics of major powers. When he ruined the carefully devised deal with Eisger, Cheliax's protectorate did not call for their help. He sent a message to Andoran. The alliance with Agorian is not as strong as before. Act now. As a result, they've resulted to a provocation. Either Neurosian accepts their forces, thus aggravating Cheliax even further, or risks a diplomatic row. Let's see what the council has to say. Hopefully the advice you're about to hear won't lead to an undesirable war. So I've been playing this somewhat incorrectly. I keep forgetting that my main character does have a background in politics. But I'll keep doing what I've been doing. A social. What solution do you propose? Because there was a reason when my character got out of politics and now pursues the glory of war. I come from Andoran myself, and as Shaylin is my witness, I wish I could offer another solution. We have sworn an oath to Her Majesty. Neurosian doesn't wish to see Andoran troops in Dresden. We have no right to invite them. But no one can forbid us from accepting their help in the form of weapons and supplies. After all, this war is not just a political conflict. This is a battle for the fate of Golarion. Everyone is entitled to do their part. With touching bashfulness, you're proposing we behave like the daughter of a noble family who wants to give herself to a dashing bard, but keep her maiden honor. Darren, are you sure we should accept Andoran's help? Does it become us to reject the aid of our valiant allies, who are on their way here to share the burden of this holy war? I sense the sins of pride, envy, and yes, a whiff of covetousness too, coming from the direction of Neurosian. But there can be no place for sin on a crusade. Lady Konami shudders pointedly. Don't forget about the sin of slander, Count. Enough tomfoolery. Your jest will lead to diplomatic disaster. Perhaps, perhaps not. One thing I can say for sure, this was a bold move by Andoran. They're willing to invest much into this cause. Our cause. I see no reason to refuse. I was never fond of Cheliax anyway. I don't like their practices. Or their wine. Lan, is it a good idea to rebuke those who send us troops? The longer I sit on this council, the harder it is for me to figure out which demons we're supposed to defeat. The ones on the front lines, or the ones we're protecting. How can people think about plots and intrigues when the world hangs in the balance? I don't have much faith in the integrity of Neurosian's bureaucrats, which is why I'm suggesting that we treat the Andorans in a way that'll make it clear. We won't stand for being used. If you want to help, then do it decently. And if you want to scheme, just go home. It will discourage wily opportunists, who win the respect of those who value honesty and decency. The politicians may be at fault here. What is a soldier's crime? They prepared to risk their lives to defeat Golarion, or defend. To defend Golarion, and they're certainly not looking to gain anything from this war. Is it just to punish them for the actions of their leaders? With logic like that, we shouldn't be surprised when people start to judge us by the deeds of Neurosian's bureaucracy. Now, Woljev, what were you saying about mercenaries? I know a guy or two with connections in merc circles. Bit creepy, but they keep their word. It'll take 5 minutes for him to turn an Andoran army into a mercenary company. They'll dig up some distinguished name of some currently retired group, fix you up with the banners and the uniforms, record the company's arrival in the books of the local mercenary guild. Even the fussiest clerk won't realize they're not well-respected dogs of war, but a detachment of Andoran regulars. And just like that, under neutral banners, we accepted our new friends into our army. Clever, huh? It's crooked, not clever. If a soldier doesn't care under which banners to fight, then they're not a soldier. Just your average cutthroat. If the Andorans agree to something like this, my respect for them will plummet. And it's not high as it is. Didn't he just say that... Or is it Socio? Somebody just argued that we're fighting for the fate of Golarion. So what does it matter what banner they fight under? Because they're still fighting under Golarion's banner. So I actually like Woljev's suggestion here. Lady Konami, why would I refuse Andoran's help? Or Andoran's help? I keep getting Andoran and Andorans. Keep saying it backwards. Firstly, because it is the wish of the capital. Lady Konami falls silent for a few moments, letting the weight of her argument sink in. And secondly, you do understand that this situation is larger and more complex than what you can see from Dresden. It would be inconvenient for us to quarrel with Cheliax at the moment, and Andoran is pushing us to do exactly that. I can promise you that Mendev will compensate you for your losses. We are guided not by consideration for our own benefit, but the good of your army and the entire crusade. Nuh-uh, no dice. When they give you something, you take it, especially freebies. Don't bother feeding us that garbage about compensating us later. The authorities do it whenever it's fleecing time, and then what? The people get nothing back. Compensating my tail. I have no more questions. In that case, I hope you'll make the correct decision. Oh, all mercenary units. That's Hell Knights, Clerics, well, Hedge Knights, as we can see here. The Mongrel Archers. That's pretty good. It's also pretty good. Also pretty good. All these are actually pretty good. That's not bad either. I'm still gonna go with this. A Woljif, let the Andarans join us under neutral banners. Commander, you've already demonstrated your defiance to the Royal Council. Do not cross the line that separates defiance from an open attack on Mendev's interests. The Royal Council will not forgive you for it. Is that a threat? Merely a warning. Your actions, on the other hand, are indeed threatening to Mendev. Her Majesty has entrusted her kingdom to the Royal Council. It is their duty to oppose those who hurt her interests. By turning them against you, you leave them no choice but to start hurting you. The decision has been made, and it's final. Lady Konomi's hand twitches in frustration. There will be consequences. Severe and unpleasant consequences. I don't care. Always nice to screw over some coxcombs from the capital. And as a bonus, get our hands on the biggest mercenary army in all of Apistan. That'll be all. Hope you're all pleased with the work of the Diplomatic Council. I doubt that the capital will henceforth be inclined to involve you in matters of politics, Commander. You may give your demon warrior your undivided attention. And good riddance, I say.
As it should be.
That might me do an awful lot of reading. I don't appreciate it. Alright, I'm going to call the episode here, and the next one we'll head down to the... this way. Where's it at? Extirpator's Camp. And we also have a water wage on this front. I'm going to recruit these guys when I'm thinking about it. What are these? Church guards. I unlock those. Light cavalry, hedge knights, they look kind of cool. Oh, what are you doing here? Where's my main army? Right there. Perfect. Send them over here. I can combine all these armies real fast while I'm thinking about it, because I will forget if I put it off to the next episode. A ton of like a lot of variety in the mercenary armies, but I really just don't care for them. Because numbers are everything, and you're putting it entirely up to chance whether or not you can fill out your army or not. If you go the mercenary route. I don't remember putting paladins in this army. Now, I'm sure I did, I just don't remember doing it. Alright, well we still have one very powerful army. That's exciting. Where were you sending this guy? Like down here somewhere, wasn't it? Yeah, this way. Alright, I'm going to call it here, and that's what we'll do next time. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.